Visit us on the web at nilfisku.com. Nilfisk University is the cleaning equipment industry's most comprehensive web-based training and interactive learning resource. Your degree in success is just a click away at Nilfisk University.
In this course on use and care, we will be focusing on two very similar models of walk-behind scrubbers, the Warrior with EcoFlex and the 34RST with EcoFlex. This course is not intended to be a substitute for the operator's manual that ships with the machine. It is important that you read, understand, and follow all safety and operating instructions in the manual. Doing so will ensure years of safe operation and optimum performance from your machine. This course is an efficient way to understand the operation of these machines through active learning. Now let's review the outcomes for this course. After successfully completing this lesson, you will be able to describe the 6 major systems of the machine, understand the major components of each system, explain how to inspect and prepare the machine for use, identify and explain the function of each control, understand the information that is conveyed by the graphical display, explain how to operate the machine, including the various cleaning modes, and how and when to use them, understand how to inspect and prepare the machine for proper storage, and understand how to perform daily, weekly, and occasional maintenance tasks. Feel free to take notes while viewing this presentation. In order to accomplish our outcomes, we will follow this course outline. First, we'll get to know the machine by going through the major components and systems as well as the user interface buttons. Once we've gotten to know the machine, we will learn how to prepare the machine for use, how to properly operate the machine in each of its modes, and how to prepare the machine for storage so that it will be ready for its next use. Finally, we'll spend some time going over routine maintenance items that will help to keep your machine performing in peak condition for years to come. As was stated earlier, the two models covered by this training are very similar, but it may be helpful at this time to cover the differences between the Warrior and the 34RST. Keep these differences in mind as we go through this training, as some of the illustrations may be slightly different than your machine, depending on which model you're using. One of the major differences between the Warrior and the 34RST is the scrub deck. The scrub deck on the disc version of the Warrior is cast aluminum and comes in 32 and 28-inch sizes. The scrub deck of the 34RST consists of a metal plate with 2 removable plastic brush housings. The Warrior has an optional cylindrical scrub deck model, while the 34RST has no cylindrical option and is only available with a disc scrub deck. The other main difference between the Warrior and the 34RST has to do with the control handle. The Warrior comes equipped with the soft touch drive paddle to control the machine's forward and reverse motion, while the 34RST comes with palm drive buttons on the control handle and a separate button for reverse. We will cover these items in more detail shortly. To help orient you during your training, let's look at the major components and systems of your machine. Models covered in this training have 6 main systems. The solution system starts with the solution tank where the clean water is held. The solution system also includes the plumbing and controls that direct the solution to the scrub system. The scrub system consists of the deck and brushes. The function of the scrub system is to agitate the cleaning solution into the soiled area, which loosens and suspends the soil in the solution so that it may be picked up by the recovery system. The recovery system removes the dirty solution from the floor. This system starts with the squeegee at the back of the machine and includes the vacuum system and recovery tank where the spent solution is contained. The electrical system is comprised of the batteries and charger and is used to power the machine. The chemical system dispenses detergent contained in a separate cartridge and mixes it with clean water from the solution tank as it travels down to the scrub system. The user interface consists of 2 user-activated input devices, the control panel and the control handle. They allow the user to set the scrub functions and control movement of the machine. Let's take a closer look at the user interface and cover the control panel and control handle in more detail. The control panel for the Warrior and the 34RST are the same. The control panel features a key switch to turn the machine on and off. Buttons with icons switch various functions on and off. Indicators next to the buttons light up or change color to show the current mode of the machine. The graphical display shows key information to the operator at a glance. The control handles on these machines are used to drive the machine and control its speed and direction. Although the Warrior and the 34RST are different when it comes to control handles, both machines feature a speed control knob that can be used to set the maximum speed. We will talk more about the operation of these control handles when we are ready to transport the machine. Let's focus a little more closely on the control panel switches and information shown on the graphical display. When the key switch is turned to the on position, the operator interface will light up as shown. All button indicator lights should illuminate to show whether or not they are working. After this diagnostic step, the display panel will look something like this. As shown previously, the battery gauge shows the amount of charge remaining in the battery pack. The hour meter shows how many hours the machine has been used for scrubbing. The machine has a complete diagnostic system, so any problems with the machine will be shown in the display with an error code next to a symbol that looks like a wrench. We'll cover the solution flow rate and brush pressure indicators as we get into using the machine for scrubbing. But let's put some names to the rest of the buttons on the control panel before we move on. Working from the left, we have the solution switch, the detergent system switch, the EcoFlex switch, the scrub off switch, the scrub on switch, the vacuum system switch, and the vacuum wand switch. We will cover the functions of each of these items in more detail, but rather than describing each one before getting into the operation of the machine, instead, we will cover them as we would encounter them in the process of using and maintaining the machine on a routine basis. If the machine is used on a daily basis, you should find the machine as it was left after it was used the day before. The recovery tank should be empty and clean. The recovery tank should be raised to allow ventilation of the battery compartment during charging. The battery charger should be plugged into a wall outlet. The pad drivers or brushes should be clean and possibly left to dry nearby. And the squeegee should be clean and ready to use. Prior to use, the machine needs to be prepared and inspected. First, unplug the battery charger. If the machine is equipped with an onboard charger, the cord should be stored by wrapping the cord around the convenient cord holder. If the machine is equipped with wet batteries, check the water level of each battery cell and add distilled water as needed. Now we can lower the recovery tank to its normal operating position. The next step is to inspect the brushes or pads. These should have been rinsed the last time the machine was used, so they should be relatively clean and free from any large debris. To remove brushes or pad drivers on the 34RST, make sure the scrub deck is in the raised position and then turn the key switch off on the control panel. Unlatch the brush housings at the latch and remove the brush housings. Then push down on two sides of the brush or pad driver until it's released. For disc scrub decks on the Warrior, pad holders or brushes can be easily removed by pressing and holding the red Scrub Off button for 3 seconds. This feature spins the brush motors, then abruptly stops them to automatically dislodge the brushes or pad holders from the clutch plate. This convenient feature makes disc removal easy and allows you to grab the top clean side of the brush or pad rather than the dirty underside. Determine if there is enough brush or pad life for the scrubbing task you are about to perform, and if not, replace the pads or brushes as needed. Also, make sure you have the correct pad or brush type for the scrubbing that needs to be performed. To install brushes or pad drivers on the 34RST, make sure the scrub deck is raised, then turn the key switch off and remove the key. Put a brush or pad driver under the brush motor plate and align the slots in the brush mount with the lugs on the motor gimbal. Then pull the brush up until it locks into place. When installing disc brushes on the Warrior, cutouts in the top of the scrub deck allow easy visible alignment of the lugs with the holes in the clutch plate. Once the lugs are aligned, click the brush or pad driver into place by rotating the disc outward with a quick motion. Note that on each side of the machine, the brush is rotated backward or towards the outside of the machine to install. Cylindrical brushes can be easily removed for inspection and cleaning by first removing the tool-free retention plate. On machines with a cylindrical scrub deck, you should also inspect the debris hopper and empty it if necessary. Inspect the squeegee blades to make sure they are ready for use and aren't torn or nicked. The squeegee blades have 4 working edges, so the blade can be flipped end for end or flipped top to bottom to expose a fresh working edge, all without tools. If all 4 edges are damaged, a new squeegee blade is needed. Lift the squeegee into place and attach it to the machine with the 2 thumb nuts. Do not over-tighten the squeegee as it is designed to break away if it hits an object. Once the squeegee is installed, attach the vacuum recovery hose. Now we are ready to fill the solution tank. Open the solution fill port and fill the machine with clean water. Hot or warm water cleans better, but the water temperature should not exceed 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Fill the tank so the solution level is 2 to 3 inches below the fill port. If bulk detergent is to be mixed in the solution tank, fill the tank about 1/3 the way up with water, then add the detergent, then top the tank off with water. This will ensure good chemical mixing while filling the tank. Reference the dilution ratio for the chemical you are using and mix properly with the understanding that the Warrior solution tank capacity is 30 gallons. The solution drain hose is also a sight tube to gauge the level of solution in the tank. If an outboard detergent dilution system is used, like a wall-mounted station, fill the machine from this device. To take advantage of the machine's EcoFlex system, fill the machine with clean water only. When using the EcoFlex onboard detergent system, inspect the detergent cartridge to verify the correct detergent is being used and that there is enough detergent in the cartridge to complete the scrubbing task. Cartridges can be easily removed by detaching the connection. Multiple cartridges can be used for quick interchange of a variety of detergents without dumping the clean water in the solution tank. To use the onboard chemical detergent system, we will need to program the machine to set the dilution ratio based on the chemical manufacturer's dilution instructions. Shown here is a conversion chart which is included as a decal on the side of the detergent cartridge. It can help with the calculation of the dilution ratio if needed. Look on the label of the chemical bottle for the manufacturer's dilution instructions. If a ratio is not given, a percentage or a number of ounces per gallon may be given. If so, use the chart to convert to a ratio. Once the ratio is known, we can program the machine. Available ratios to choose from are the 9 ratios shown in the chart plus an additional ratio of 1 to 400, which is the default ultra-low detergent mode ratio. To program the machine, turn the machine on and look for the icon that looks like a beaker. If the indicator next to this button is lit, press the button to turn the chemical system off. Then press and hold the button for 2 seconds until the green light flashes. Now you have entered change mode, and you can repeatedly tap the button to toggle through the available chemical mixing ratios, which can be seen in the display. Stop tapping the button once the desired ratio is displayed, and after 2 seconds the selected ratio is locked into the machine. This ratio will stay programmed into the machine until it is changed again using the same procedure. We are now ready to transport the machine to the area to be cleaned. Turn on the machine using the key. Verify that the machine has enough battery power to complete the scrubbing task by using the display panel battery indicator. The Warrior is controlled using the soft touch drive paddle system and a maximum speed control potentiometer. Push the paddle forward to go forward and pull it back to go backward. The drive paddle gives you variable speed control depending on how far the paddle is tilted in either direction. Maximum speed is set with the speed control knob. This control sets maximum speed for both forward and reverse. The 34RST is controlled using palm drive buttons and a reverse button. Press either of the palm buttons to go forward, or press one of the palm buttons along with the reverse button to move the machine backwards. The palm buttons do not give you variable speed control depending on pressure. The switch is either on or off. As with the Warrior, maximum speed is set with the speed control knob. To begin scrubbing with the machine, first press and hold the solution switch for about 5 seconds to pre-wet the floor. This will dispense solution to the brushes and floor, which will help to prevent damage to delicate floors or floor coatings. The best practice to prevent any damage to the floor when starting or stopping scrubbing is to have the machine slightly in motion before engaging the brushes. Next, press the green Scrub On switch. This will activate the entire scrub system and the indicator lights will show this. The deck will lower to the floor and the scrub, vacuum, solution, and detergent systems will be set to active. None of these systems will be running, however, while the drive paddle is in the neutral position or for the 34RST until one of the palm buttons is pressed. This preserves battery power and prevents unnecessary wear to brushes and the floor. Now lower the squeegee to the floor with the squeegee raise lower lever. Pressing the drive paddle forward, or pressing a palm button, will start the actual scrubbing function. The machine will move forward, solution will begin to flow, the brushes will begin to spin, and the vacuum will turn on. For best results, move the machine at a slow walking speed. While the machine is moving in reverse, the brushes will run, but solution and chemical will not be dispensed. Press the solution switch once to turn off the solution flow while making sharp turns. To pause scrubbing, release the palm button or drive paddle. The machine, solution flow, and brushes will stop. The vacuum will continue to run for 10 seconds to help clear the vacuum hose and squeegee of any remaining water. To stop scrubbing, press the scrub off switch. The scrub deck will lift from the floor and the vacuum will shut off after a 10-second delay. Then raise the squeegee. That's basically it. The solution, vacuum, and detergent systems are automatically activated when the scrub on switch is pressed. No further action is required other than lowering the squeegee and pressing the drive paddle or palm button. Any individual system can be turned off or back on by simply pressing its switch at any time during scrubbing. Both the Warrior and 34RST feature integrated scrub pressure and solution control, which makes it easy to adjust the cleaning power of these machines. The integrated control settings have been calibrated to use the correct combination of brush pressure and solution flow rate to clean regular, heavy, and extreme soil loads. The green Scrub On button is used to choose between 3 different modes. Regular scrub mode is the default mode, which is activated by pressing the green Scrub On switch once. Regular scrub mode is indicated by the illumination of the first light on the left side of the Scrub On button and also on the display where 1 bar of solution flow and 1 bar of scrub pressure are automatically tied together. This default setting to regular scrub mode promotes longer brush life, lower battery power usage, and less water and chemical usage. To clean heavier soils, one needs more scrub pressure and more cleaning solution. To switch the machine to heavy scrub mode, press the Scrub On switch a second time. When this is done, both the scrub pressure and solution flow rate increase. While in heavy scrub mode, the light on the right side of the Scrub On button will be lit, and 2 solution flow bars and 2 scrub pressure bars will be shown on the graphical display. To change from heavy scrub mode back to regular scrub, simply press the Scrub On switch again. To clean extreme soils, you need even more scrub pressure and solution flow. To activate extreme scrub mode, press and hold the Scrub On switch for 5 seconds. Extreme scrub mode is indicated by the illumination of both Scrub On lights, and by 3 bars for both solution flow and scrub pressure on the graphical display. Pressing the Scrub On switch while in extreme scrub mode will change the mode to regular scrub. In some situations, you may wish to increase solution flow without increasing scrubbing pressure. An example of this might be if a potted plant was spilled. In this case, you wouldn't need a lot of scrub pressure, but an increased amount of water would help to suspend the large quantity of dirt and allow it to be more easily picked up off the floor by the vacuum system. To increase solution flow without increasing scrub pressure, hold the solution switch for 3 seconds. When the solution indicator starts flashing, let go of the switch. You then have 3 seconds to set a different flow rate by simply pressing the solution switch repeatedly to toggle between regular, heavy, or extreme flow rates. When the desired flow rate is shown on the graphical display, wait a few seconds for the solution indicator to stop flashing, and the new flow rate will be set. Any subsequent scrub pressure adjustments will reset the solution flow rate to the default and will resync flow rate to scrub pressure. As stated earlier, you can also turn the solution flow off completely and back on again by pressing the solution switch. By default, the machine will scrub with the EcoFlex system in ultra-low detergent mode, which is indicated by a solid green light on the EcoFlex switch. In this mode, detergent is dispensed at the ultra-low ratio of 1 to 400. This enhances the cleaning power of plain water while minimizing both cleaning costs and the environmental impact from chemicals. Pressing the EcoFlex switch will call up a burst of power when needed to easily and temporarily increase scrub pressure, solution flow, and detergent ratio simultaneously. This burst of power will last for 1 minute, after which time the machine will return to its previous mode of operation. During this 60-second burst, the EcoFlex indicator will flash green, the solution flow rate and the scrub pressure will each increase to the next higher level, and the detergent ratio will increase to full strength, or in other words, to the setting we programmed into the machine earlier based on the detergent manufacturer's recommended dilution ratio. During the last 10 seconds of the 60-second burst, the EcoFlex indicator light will flash faster to let you know that the burst is coming to an end. You can also terminate the burst of power manually at any time during the 60 seconds by simply pressing the EcoFlex switch, which will return the machine to its previous mode. For longer periods of full detergent strength cleaning, press and hold the EcoFlex switch for 2 seconds. After doing this, the machine will continue to dispense detergent at full strength until the EcoFlex switch is pressed again. Cycling the key switch will not return the machine to ultra-low detergent mode. When cleaning with full detergent strength, the EcoFlex switch indicator light will be off, and the chemical ratio shown in the graphical display will be the pre-programmed setting. To clean with no chemicals at all, press the detergent switch so that the indicator light turns off. The detergent indicator in the graphical display will also turn off. In this mode, the machine is scrubbing with plain water only, which may be sufficient for lightly soiled areas and will provide the lowest possible impact on the environment. Eventually, the batteries may require charging, or the solution tank will run dry, or the recovery tank will become full. When the batteries require recharging, the battery low indicator will come on and the vacuum motor will shut off after 30 seconds. All scrubbing functions will cease, but you will still have power to transport the machine. You should have plenty of battery power to drive the machine to a suitable area to drain the recovery tank. Once the recovery tank is empty, you can transport the machine to a service area to recharge the batteries. While the solution tank and the recovery tank are the same size, in the event that more water is picked up than put down, the machine's recovery tank has an automatic shutoff switch that turns all systems off except the drive system when the recovery tank is full. When this switch is activated, the machine will not pick up water or scrub until the recovery tank is emptied. All display panel indicators will vanish, and the recovery tank full indicator will display. When this occurs, transport the machine to a suitable location to empty the recovery tank. To empty, remove the recovery tank drain hose from its hanger. To avoid a sudden, uncontrolled flow of wastewater, hold the end of the hose above the water level in the tank before opening the cap. Use your hand to clamp down on the hose to govern the rate of water flow to a rate that your drain will accept. Once the recovery tank is empty, you are, of course, going to do one of two things. Either you have more scrubbing to do, in which case you would go back and refill the solution tank, or you are done scrubbing, and it's time to prep the machine for storage. We'll assume you are done scrubbing for the day and are ready to put away the machine until it is needed again. As we learned earlier about preparing the machine for scrubbing, we are now going to do the opposite procedure and prepare the machine for storage. The first thing to do is empty the recovery tank and rinse it out thoroughly to remove any and all debris from the tank. Remove and rinse the vacuum motor inlet screen. Make sure you do not get any water down the vacuum motor inlet while cleaning. Inspect the recovery and vacuum hoses. Replace if kinked or damaged. Remove the squeegee, rinse it with warm water, and inspect it to make sure the blades are not ripped or torn. If they need to be changed or replaced, do that now. If not, hang the squeegee to dry. Remove the brushes or pad holders. Rinse the brushes or pads with warm water and remove any large debris that may be present. Inspect pads to see if they need to be changed or flipped over, and check brushes to see if they need to be replaced. If they do, then do that now. Hang clean brushes or pads up to dry. Allow buffing pads to dry completely before using again. If you have a cylindrical scrub deck installed on the machine, remove the brush, inspect for any large debris, and rinse off and set aside to dry. Remove the hopper and empty it and rinse that too. Lift up the recovery tank to expose the batteries for ventilation while charging. Now you can plug the battery pack into the charger and charge the batteries for the next person who needs to use the machine. It's also a good idea to take a damp rag and clean off the exterior of the machine as necessary. Perform any other maintenance according to this schedule before storage. Please reference the operator's manual for the specifics on these maintenance items, as we will only cover them briefly now. Once a week, one should inspect the scrub housing skirt, clean the solution filter. Note that there is a shutoff valve provided so that you can check the solution filter without having to first empty the solution tank. Purge the detergent system with plain warm water. Clean the solution trough on cylindrical machines. Check the water level of each battery cell and add distilled water as needed. Monthly, the machine should be lubricated. Equalizing the batteries ensures each cell is at its maximum charge potential for maximum runtime. This is done by fully charging the machine and then unplugging it. After a minute or two, plug the machine back in to charge it again, and repeat this step one more time. After 1 year or after 300 hours, the carbon brushes in the vacuum motor should be inspected for wear. After 1 year or 500 hours, the carbon brushes scrub motors should be inspected for wear. Refer to the operator's manual or an authorized advanced service center on lubrication and carbon brush inspection and replacement. Let's review what we've discussed during this course. At this point, you should now be able to describe the 6 major systems of the machine, understand the major components of each system, explain how to inspect and prepare the machine for use, identify and explain the function of each control, understand the information that is conveyed by the graphical display, explain how to operate the machine, including the various cleaning modes, and how and when to use them. Understand how to inspect and prepare the machine for proper storage, and understand how to perform daily, weekly, and occasional maintenance tasks.
Visit us on the web at nilfisku.com. Nilfisk University is the cleaning equipment industry's most comprehensive web-based training and interactive learning resource. Your degree in success is just a click away at Nilfisk University.